I want you to close your eyes for a second. We'll keep them open if you're driving. But just imagine the last time you were at a properly loud concert.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about the kind of volume where you don't just hear the music, you feel it. That bass kicking you right in the chest. It's rattling your rib cage.
You feel it in your bones.
Exactly. Or take it the other way. Think about stepping off a busy, noisy street and walking into a massive, a stone cathedral or a really quiet library.
That instant drop.
Right. It's physical. Your shoulders drop, your breathing slows down, the air feels different. It happens before you even have a conscious thought about it.
It really does.
It makes you wonder, why does sound have the kind of immediate physical control over us? Why can a certain beat make us feel like we can run through a brick wall while a hum can put us to sleep in 5 minutes?
It is a universal experience, but we rarely stop to ask how it's happening. We just sort of let it happen.
Well, today we are stopping to ask. We're diving into a guide called Harmonic Sorcery, the Science and Spirit of Sacred Sound.
I love that title.
And before you roll your eyes at the word sorcery, stick with me.
Yeah.
This isn't just about, chanting in the woods, though that is part of it. It's about the intersection of ancient witchcraft and modern sound theory.
It's really a look at the physics of spells.
Physics of spells, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Our mission today is to figure out why sound has been the #1 tool for magic since before we could write anything down.
Right.
And the source material makes a pretty bold claim. It suggests that sound isn't just background noise for a ritual. It argues that sound is the engine. It's the thing that actually hacks your reality.
That is a great way to frame it. The central premise here is that magic, or shifting your consciousness, isn't some abstract, airy-fairy concept. It is mechanical.
Mechanical.
And sound provides the mechanics to move you from one state of being to another.
So let's dig into this, because I think for a lot of us, spells implies reading from a dusty old book. Eye of Newt, toe of frog, some Latin phrases.
Sure.
But the guide starts by saying that's actually a very, very modern invention.
It is. We live in a text-obsessed world. If you want to set an intention today, you probably write it in a journal or, type it into your phone. But historically, we are talking about tens of thousands of years where that wasn't an option.
We're oral cultures.
We were sonic cultures. Long before spells were written, they were spoken. They were sung, drummed, chanted. The guide calls this the ancient bridge.
The ancient bridge.
Yeah. Whether you are looking at shamanic drumming in Siberia, Gregorian chants in Europe, or the use of rattles in the Americas, sound is the common denominator. It is the tool humanity always reaches for to connect with the unseen.
And the guide describes this as a switch. I thought this was really interesting. The idea that sound isn't just for communication, but it's a toggle for your brain.
Think about your average day. You are in what they call ordinary awareness. You're analyzing, you're planning dinner, you're worrying about that email.
Right.
That is beta brainwave state, usually. It's busy.
It's noisy. Even if the room is quiet, my head is noisy.
Exactly. The source argues that to do magic, or to do any deep creative work, honestly, you need to shift into ritual consciousness. You have to leave the mundane world.
Okay.
And sound is the fastest way to flip that switch. When the drumming starts or a specific bell rings, your brain doesn't have to think about it. It knows, okay, we are leaving the grocery list behind. We are entering sacred space.
It's like a Pavlovian response for your soul. But here's where I want to push back a little, or at least get skeptical.
Go for it.
Is this just psychology?
Yeah.
Is it just that we associate bells with church so we calm down? Or is there something actual and biological happening here? Because the source material claims this is physics, not just feelings.
It is absolutely physics.
Yeah.
And to understand why, we have to look at what you are made of.
Flesh and bone.
Water.
Ah, right. The water.
The human body is roughly 60 to 70% water. Now, why does that matter for sound? Think about when you are in a swimming pool.
Okay.
If you are underwater and someone bangs on the metal ladder on the side of the pool, what happens?
It's deafening. It feels like it's inside your head.
Because it is. Sound travels, 4 to 5 times faster through water than it does through air, and it retains its energy much longer. Air is compressible, the molecules are spread out, you can squish air. Water is non-compressible, so when a sound wave hits water, it doesn't just dissipate, it transfers that energy efficiently.
So because I'm basically a walking bag of water.
When you hear a drum beat or a low chant, you aren't just processing it with your eardrums. That vibration is physically traveling through your cells. It is rippling through the water in your tissues.
Wow.
You are physically resonating with the sound.
That actually explains so much about why loud bass feels the way it does. It's not just loud volume-wise. It's literally shaking the water in my body.
It creates a physical resonance pattern, and this leads us to the concept of entrainment. This is one of the most important mechanisms in the guide.
Entrainment. This is the pendulum clock thing, right?
That is the classic example. If you put a bunch of pendulum clocks on a wall, eventually they will all swing in perfect sync. Not because anyone touched them, but because the tiny vibrations they send through the wall force them to synchronize.
Roiled.
It is a law of physics. Nature seeks the path of least energy, and syncing up uses less energy than fighting the rhythm.
And we are the clocks.
We are the clocks. Our heart rate, our breathing, and crucially, our brain waves will try to match the rhythm of the sound we are hearing. The source calls rhythm a remote control for the nervous system.
That's a little terrifying, actually. A remote control.
It's powerful. If you listen to a slow, steady beat, like a heartbeat tempo, maybe 60 beats per minute, your body will slow down to match it. It induces a trance-like calm state.
Right.
Conversely, if you listen to fast, chaotic rhythms, your heart rate spikes, your adrenaline pumps, and you enter a high-energy state.
Which is why we have techno for the gym and ambient drones for the spa. We're already using this magic. We just call it getting pumped up or chilling out.
We are using the tool, but we aren't always conscious of the mechanism. In a magical context, the goal is often to quiet the analytical mind. You know that voice that says, am I doing this right? Do I look stupid?
The inner critic. I know him well.
Repetitive sound like chanting or drumming occupies that part of the brain. It gives the analytical mind a bone to chew on. And while that part of your brain is busy tracking the rhythm, the intuitive subconscious mind is free to step forward.
So the chanting isn't the magic itself. It's the distraction that allows the magic to happen. It keeps the monkey mind busy.
Precisely. It opens the door.
Okay, so we've established that we are water-filled resonators and that rhythm can hack our brainwaves. That's the biology. But how do we turn that into a practice? The guide outlines these 3 pillars of sonic magic.
Right, the practical applications.
So what is the first one?
The first pillar is the focus anchor.
I feel like this is specifically for me. My mind wanders constantly.
You aren't alone. In meditation or spell work, holding a single intention for 20 minutes is incredibly difficult for the modern brain. We are trained to jump from notification to notification.
Right.
Sound acts as a container. Imagine trying to hold water in your hands, it spills everywhere. But if you have a cup, you can hold it. Sound is the cup.
I like that.
If you are chanting a specific phrase over and over, or listening to a drone sound, it tethers your mind to the present moment. If you drift off, the sound pulls you back.
So it's a safety line. As long as I can hear the sound, I know I'm still in the ritual.
It grounds the intention.
Sure.
The second pillar is the emotional amplifier. This is huge because in most traditions, magic runs on emotion.
You can't just say the words.
You can't just say the words, you have to feel the outcome.
This is the difference between reading a menu and eating the food.
That's a good analogy. And sound is a shortcut. Think about how a movie scene changes depending on the soundtrack.
Oh, yeah.
You could have a scene of a guy walking down the street. Put happy pop music over it, it's a comedy. Put slow minor key strings over it, and suddenly it's a tragedy.
And nothing visual changed, just the audio.
Sound bypasses the logic centers and goes straight to the limbic system, the emotional brain. If you need to conjure up a feeling of grief or joy or power for a spell, music gets you there instantly.
It's an emotional catalyst.
It really is.
I've definitely used breakup playlists for that exact reason, to purge the emotion.
That is a form of spell work. You are using sound to move energy. The third pillar is the boundary marker.
We touched on this with the switch idea, right?
Yes, but specifically regarding the structure of your life. We used to have clear boundaries. You left the village to go to the temple. You left the field to come home. Now, we work from bed. We answer emails at dinner.
It's all one big muddy blur.
The boundaries are dissolved. Sound can rebuild those walls. The guide talks about using sound to signal to your body, this is the start and this is the stop.
A bell to begin a meditation and a bell to end it. Seems so simple.
It is simple. But without it, the ritual just bleeds into the rest of your day. And that dilutes the power. If you don't close the circle, you carry that open, vulnerable state back into your stressful life.
The sound helps you seal the container.
Exactly.
Okay, I want to get into the specific tools because I walked into a metaphysical shop the other day and it was overwhelming. There are crystal bowls, brass bowls, drums, chimes, rattles. The guide breaks these down by their energetic job.
Right.
So if I'm feeling scattered and anxious, what do I grab?
You grab a drum. Drums and percussion are described as earth-centered. They mimic the heartbeat. If you are feeling floaty or anxious, a steady drum beat pulls your energy down into your body. It is grounding.
Okay, so drums for grounding. What about if the energy in my house feels heavy, like just stagnant and gross?
Then you want high-frequency sounds. Bells, chimes, cymbals. Think about the sound of a really sharp, clear bell. It feels like it cuts through the air.
It's piercing.
The expert view is that these high frequencies break up stagnant energy patterns. They are used for space clearing. It wakes up the room. It's like opening a window, but with sound.
And then you have the singing bowls.
Yeah.
They seem to be everywhere now.
Singing bowls are for sustain. They produce these long, layering vibrations that slowly fade into silence. They are excellent for that focus anchor we talked about. They invite the mind to settle.
Right.
But the guide actually says the most powerful instrument is the one you don't have to buy.
The voice.
The voice. And this isn't about being a good singer. It's about the physics again. When you use your own voice humming, chanting, intoning, you are generating the vibration from the center of your body. You are massaging your own internal organs with sound.
It's an internal massage.
It is, and it connects your intention directly to your physical form in a way that playing a recording never can.
Speaking of recordings,
Yeah.
we have to talk about the frequency wars. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes.
You go on YouTube and search for focus music, and the titles are aggressive. Listen to this. 528 hertz, miracle tone to repair DNA. Or 432 hertz, the God frequency.
People get really intense about it.
You do. Does the source back that up?
I was really glad the guide addressed this. The short answer is, don't stress about the math.
Thank goodness.
There is a lot of pseudoscience online about magic frequencies. The source points out that while different pitches absolutely affect us, the idea that 432 hertz is holy and 440 hertz is evil is mostly internet conspiracy.
So my DNA isn't going to unravel if I listen to the radio.
You will be fine. The guide emphasizes lived experience over rigid rules. The question isn't, is this mathematically the correct shielding tone? The question is, how does my body respond to this?
That makes so much more sense.
If a certain drone makes you feel expanded and calm, that is the magic. If it irritates you, it's not working, no matter what the YouTube thumbnail says.
That is surprisingly practical. It puts the authority back on the listener, not on some guru with a frequency generator.
Exactly. Magic is personal. The relationship is between you and the sound.
Now, there was one section in here that I thought was really responsible, and frankly, you don't see it enough in New Age books. The concept of trauma-informed sound.
Yes, this is critical.
Because the assumption is usually, healing sounds are good, so more is better.
This is a really big deal. We assume sound is benign. But if you are someone with a history of trauma, or if your nervous system is stuck in hypervigilance, intense sound can be a trigger.
Like a loud, chaotic drum circle might not feel grounding. It might feel like a threat.
It can feel incredibly unsafe. If you are in a vulnerable state, loud or unpredictable noises signal danger to the primal brain. The guide suggests that true healing requires safety first.
Okay.
So trauma-informed sound work is often quiet, predictable, and gentle.
And controllable.
Control is key. You should never force a sonic experience on yourself or anyone else in the name of healing. If your body tenses up, listen to that. Turn it off.
That connects to the other tool the guide mentioned, which isn't a sound at all.
Silence.
The most important sound tool.
It seems like a paradox. Why is silence in a sound guide?
Because sound creates the shift, but silence is where the integration happens. Imagine shaking a snow globe. That's the ritual, the drumming, the chanting.
Okay.
The silence is setting the globe down and watching the snow settle.
If you just keep shaking it, you never see the picture.
Exactly. The guide says, magic begins the moment you listen. If you constantly fill your space with noise, even spiritual noise, you aren't leaving any room for the insight to land. You need the negative space.
It's really profound. It's the soaking in period. So for the listener who is thinking, this all sounds cool, but I am musically illiterate. I can't carry a tune. I have no rhythm. What is the entry point?
The entry point is association. You don't need talent. You need consistency.
Walk me through that.
You can create a spell just by curating a playlist. Let's say you want to be more creative. Pick a specific album or a song. Only listen to it when you are sitting down to write or draw or build.
And not at other times. Right. Don't listen to it in the car. Don't listen to it while doing dishes.
So you are training your brain. This song equals creativity.
You are building a neural pathway. Eventually, you won't have to try to be creative. You hit play, and your physiology will shift automatically because it recognizes the signal. That is magic. It's altering your reality using sound.
It totally demystifies it. You don't need a robe, you need Spotify and some discipline.
And a willingness to pay attention.
So to recap our journey here, we've gone from ancient caves where sound was the bridge to the spirit world, through the biology of our water-filled bodies conducting vibration, all the way to using a bell to set a boundary for your mental health.
It is a big landscape, but if we boil it down, the core insight is that sound theory doesn't replace the magic. It explains why the magic works. It regulates the nervous system to make room for the spiritual.
It's the mechanics under the hood.
It helps us bypass the noisy analytical world so we can hear our own intentions.
And that leads me to the final thought I want to leave everyone with. The source said, magic begins the moment you listen. And it made me look at my own environment differently. If sound is constantly shaping our reality, constantly vibrating our water, and syncing our brainwaves.
Then we're effectively under a spell all the time.
Right. So here's the question for you. What are the background sounds of your life right now? The traffic, the constant ping of notifications, the TV droning in the other room. What kind of spell are those sounds casting on you without you even realizing it?
And more importantly, what would happen if you decided to change the soundtrack?
That is where the real power is, taking control of the vibration. Thanks for diving deep with us today.
It was a pleasure.